Imagine this. You're buying a car, but it's not just a means of transportation. It feels like a supercomputer on wheels. Today we're going to talk about BYD's new flagship, the Tang, also known as the Great Tang. But before we start the video, let me ask you a question. Is this car the biggest opportunity of your life, or does it hide some serious risks behind its technology? For example, what would it actually cost you to drive this massive machine on Australian roads in terms of insurance and taxes? And how would the same situation look in the US market? As you know, the United States currently takes a more cautious and restrictive stance toward Chinese automotive brands. But how do these restrictions or tariff barriers actually affect us as consumers? Today, we're going to dive into both the technology behind this machine and the real-world costs that come with owning it. Before we jump into the video, don't forget to subscribe and like the video so you don't miss more content like this. Because here, we don't just review cars, we analyze vehicles that have the potential to reshape the entire market. Taxes and insurance costs. Everyone talks about performance and specs, but let's be honest, once you buy a car, what really matters is the money leaving your pocket every month. Australia and the US also approach this very differently. For example, in Australia, certain tax benefits for electric SUVs like the FBT exemption can significantly reduce overall ownership costs. But in the United States, the situation is a bit different. New technologies and new models are often evaluated more cautiously by insurance companies, which can mean slightly higher costs, especially in the early stages. However, there's an important detail here. The advanced safety features and technology offered in the BYD Tang could help balance out these costs over time. So the real question is, are these additional costs worth the technology and comfort you're getting? What would you do? Would you go for next-generation technology or stick with a more established and safer option? Now let's get acquainted with the design of the car. It's impossible to simply walk past the BYD Tang without taking a closer look. It inevitably draws attention. This model fully embodies the design spirit of the Dynasty series. The two-tone body gives it such a premium appearance that it feels less like a mass-produced vehicle and more like a custom-made creation. The LED light design at the front and the massive 21-inch wheels further amplify this impression. Notice an intriguing detail. The door handles are integrated into the body. This isn't just a visual choice, it's also a solution that improves aerodynamics. Even in cases of energy loss or system malfunction, the doors can still be opened, which adds an extra layer of safety. At the rear, the Chinese knot-inspired light design makes the car instantly recognizable from afar, especially at night. So, would such a bold and distinctive design attract more attention on Australian roads or American streets? The truth is simple. Wherever it goes, this car naturally gathers people's gaze. When you step inside, you immediately feel like you're in a first-class airplane cabin. Everywhere you look, there are screens, but they're designed in a way that doesn't strain your eyes. There's a dedicated display for the driver, another for multimedia, and even a separate screen for the passenger. But what impressed me the most is the second row. Two individual captain's chairs that redefine comfort, featuring massage functions, ventilation, and adjustable leg rests. There's even a built-in refrigerator. If you're planning a long journey across Australia or driving miles across states in the US, this level of comfort is truly priceless. Even the third row hasn't been overlooked. It comes with electric adjustments as well. Would you want this kind of comfort for your family? Now let's move on to the technical power and suspension system. Here comes the most crucial point. This car weighs 2,640 kilograms, nearly 3 tons. Yet BYD claims you won't feel that weight behind the wheel. Why? Because it's equipped with the DiSUZ dual-chamber air suspension system. This system actively reads the road. It prevents the car from leaning in corners, eliminates that unpleasant shaking when braking, and even promises rear-wheel steering capability. Imagine maneuvering a vessel over 5 meters long, 5,263 millimeters, through narrow streets with the ease of a hatchback. That's truly the pinnacle of engineering. Now let's get to the most important question. How much does this car cost? In China, the starting price is around $58,000 US. If it enters the Australian market with taxes and shipping included, we can estimate the figure to be roughly $90,000 to $100,000 Australian dollars. And what do you get for that price? The comfort of a Toyota Land Cruiser or BMW X7, the technology of a Tesla, and the speed of a sports car. In the US, comparable SUVs often cost significantly more, meaning BYD's pricing strategy could spark a real battle in the market. Still, it's worth noting that some user reviews highlight areas like software localization as points that need further attention. Now we've arrived at the most crucial topic, charging and fuel costs. Let's talk numbers. The BYD Tang comes in both hybrid and fully electric versions. Hybrid, 795 horsepower, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.9 seconds. Figures that would embarrass many sports cars.
Production version
Electric,
of the Dynasty
built
D
on a
concept
1000-volt
car
architecture with the second-generation blade battery. The
The
manufacturer claims a range of 950 kilometers, about 590 miles under Chinese standards. In real-world conditions, such as Australian roads, that translates to roughly 500 to 600 kilometers, 310 to 370 miles. And here's the headline feature. At 1.5 megawatt charging stations, it can go from 10% to 97% in just 9 minutes. That's faster than waiting in line at a gas station. When comparing fuel costs, driving the electric Tang could save you thousands of dollars annually compared to a gasoline rival. The lingering question, however, is whether your city has enough charging stations. For many, this remains one of those technical nuances highlighted in user reviews. Now we've arrived at the ultimate topic, safety. The BYD Tang isn't just about speed, it's about being a fortress on wheels. Thanks to the second-generation blade battery technology, the risk of fire is minimized, while the vehicle itself is reinforced with steel armor to withstand impacts. Built to meet the toughest safety standards, including Australia's ANCAP and America's IIHS, the Tang is equipped with over 30 radars and sensors that constantly scan the road. Smart collision prevention and lane-keeping systems act as a safeguard against driver mistakes, ensuring peace of mind whether you're cruising long highways or navigating city streets. In essence, the Tang places your family's safety above all else, merging cutting-edge technology with maximum protection. Now let me share my personal perspective on this car. Let's set aside the horsepower figures, screens, and specs for a moment and look at the essence. What does the BYD Tang truly represent? It's not just another new model. It's a tangible example of the transformation happening in the global automotive industry. In my view, we're gradually moving beyond the era where choices were made purely based on brand prestige. For decades, concepts like German quality or Japanese durability dominated buyer perception. Those ideas remain strong, but the arrival of new technologies is forcing us to rethink them. When I look at the Tang, I don't just see an SUV, I see a direction where innovation and technology take center stage. This means competition for traditional manufacturers is becoming more dynamic and exciting, especially in major markets like the US and Europe. In demanding markets such as Australia, drivers are always searching for balance, safety, comfort, and reasonable long-term costs. The Tang appears to be one of those models striving to deliver that balance. A blend of cutting-edge tech with practical everyday usability. It's a signal that the automotive world is entering a new chapter, where fresh players can challenge long-established giants. What makes me think the most is this. Until now, we've often seen cars as nothing more than a metal machine that takes us from point A to point B. But this model promises a lifestyle. Spending just 9 minutes to charge is, in reality, giving you back the rest of your time. That is technology serving humanity at its highest point. If you still place greater value on the prestigious logos of the past, this model might feel a little ahead of its time. But if you're a rational buyer seeking maximum technology, high comfort, and a new generation driving experience for your money, the BYD Tang stands out as one of the most noteworthy choices in today's market. For me, this car is not just an SUV, it's a sign of a changing mindset in the industry. It shows us that luxury can be more accessible and technology can now be delivered in a way that's practical and convenient for everyday use. In competitive and demanding markets like Australia, it's no surprise to see such models gaining traction. Drivers are increasingly searching for balance, technology, comfort, and long-term value. And ultimately, the most interesting point is this: the range of choices in the market is expanding, and that directly benefits us, the consumers. That's all for today. Our review of the BYD Tang ends here, but the journey of this channel is far from over. Your support, every like you leave and every comment you write, is my greatest motivation to create new videos. If you haven't joined our family yet, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the latest reviews. What are your thoughts on this model? Could it dethrone the Land Cruiser, or should we stay loyal to the old favorites? Let's definitely discuss it in the comments. I'll be waiting for each of you there. Wishing you the car of your dreams. May your roads always be safe, your energy full, and your journeys bright. Drive carefully, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next videos. Goodbye for now.